Welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek. I hope everybody had a great week. I'm fighting off a throat infection, but one great thing is that I'm off for a week, so it's Thanksgiving week. So you might see me coughing a little bit in this video. I finished this puzzle, and I normally talk only about my puzzles on my puzzle channel, but I wanted to do a shameless plug. What a beautiful puzzle this turned out to be. It's a Mondo puzzle, and it has a great poster inside, this is all great for my Universal Monsters collection. But if you want to see the completed puzzle, you should go on over to Jigsaw Geek and watch that video. I feel a little bit bad because Rich at Big Nasty Comics sent me a box of books. He sent me a notification that a local bookstore was having a sale on paperback books, and he sent me pictures and asked me which ones I wanted. And of course, I want to pay him for it, but he won't let me. And I think I shouldn't have told him I wanted any because I feel guilty. But anyways, I got some new books. And, I just wish he would let me pay for them. But anyways, I got some Perry Mason. I love these. I love these blue, silver, and some of them are gold. This one is the Case of the Silent Partner. This one is the Case of the Stuttering Bishop. This one is the Spurious Spinster. The Hesitant Hostess. And I did get this. This is a movie tie-in, The Sundowners. I think I saw this movie, but I don't remember. So I would definitely need to watch that again. But isn't this a cool book for my collection? Then I did get some... here's another one. And then all the rest are Dawes. The Day New York Went Dry. Isn't that a cool picture? And that one is by Charles Einstein. It's 1967 in New York, and if you want a drink of water, get out of town. And the rest are Dawes. So I have Ron Goulart's Space Hawk Incorporated. Look at that cool picture. That's number 132. This is the mind behind the eye, and this is actually Daw number 2. Isn't that a great cover? Hunters of Gore. This is the 8th book in the Gore saga. And another Ron Goulart, Big Bang. My cat's scratching again. Another Ron Goulart, What's Become of Screwloose and Other Inquiries. And David Walker, The Lord's Pink Ocean. So those are some new books. Thank you. Thanks to Big Nasty Comics, Rich. I'm very thankful for the gift that you gave me. On the way home from school today, I went to my local comic shop. Now, my local comic shop is actually 15 minutes further away from my home, from my the way to school, so I don't stop there often. But today I went and I picked up 3 trade paperbacks. And the first one was The New Gods. And this one is The Fallen Sky by Ram V and Evan Cagle. And this is volume 1. And it collects issues, probably, most likely 1 through 6. It's not saying it on the back. Then this one I was really excited. I've been waiting for this. Everybody's been talking about how good this is, and the art is just so cool. So this is Absolute Martian Manhunter, Martian Vision, and this is issues 1 through 6. I'm not sure if you can see it there. Yeah, right there. And I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And finally, I bought, this is one of the books that I ordered from In Stock Trades that was out. So I was so happy that the local comic shop had it. And that's Batman and Robin, Father and Son. Now, the reason I bought this is because the All In started a new run, but it was at issue 14. And I wanted to read issues 1 through 13. And I got the second volume from In Stock Trades. So it was nice to get this one. I'm not expecting it to be as good, but I still just wanted to get caught up on that and read the first 13 issues. But I am enjoying the all-in Batman and Robin, the volume that I read. Now, when as I was checking out, they had two upcoming issues, and this one is kind of interesting. This is Zdarsky Comic News. This is pretty cool. As I was looking through it, they recommend both DC and Marvel comics, and I'm not sure if they mention Image or not. But it's kind of nice where someone is talking about both companies. And then this DC Connect talks about upcoming, issues. And what I'm really interested in, I've already pre-ordered this, The Demon. This was the only Jack Kirby book that I couldn't get in that Jack Kirby collection. It was out of print, and now it sells for a lot on eBay. So I'm very happy that they're reprinting this. And also, they're putting out a Flash, which I also pre-ordered that one. Now, these small books are really great for new collectors, and they're so cheap. But the art is small, but what a bargain these books are. Look at this John Byrne Absolute Edition for The Man of Steel, where, he's breaking through. The front looks like that, and the back, I believe, looks like that. I think the Absolute Editions are just gorgeous. Also, I pre-ordered this one, Flinch, based on Dope Comics. He bought a bunch of them, and he was showing off the covers. And just so happens that they are releasing the complete collection, and I'm looking forward to that. Although he read a couple of them, and he gave good reviews on one, and then not so good on others. So maybe as a compilation, like most horror compilations, it's hit or miss. But the art looks great, at least on the covers. Okay, so I really didn't do a lot this week because I spent a lot of time on puzzles, and also, I haven't been feeling that great through, last couple of days. So I have 2 books, actually three books, and about 4 or 5 TV shows. So this is most likely going to be a short episode today, probably to the happiness of my viewers. So I'm going to start off by talking about this book, Strange Pictures, which I did introduce in a previous episode. And this is by Uketsu. Now, Uketsu is the Japanese mystery horror sensation. And he is an online presence that only appears in a black bodysuit and a mask. But having read this book, I'm impressed. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very quick read. It's not going to be the best thing you ever read. But I loved the way that he included photographs and drawings. No photographs, I'm sorry. Drawings in the mystery of these stories, and every chapter has a different mystery or story, but they all connect. And it was really a lot of fun. There's mystery, there's kind of horror, and I really liked when you would get an initial image, and then they would investigate it and find new things out about it. Like, what does this picture mean? And as you go into it in depth, different lines here and there, or different shadings, or different placement, would introduce new aspects to help the people unravel the mystery. It was really interesting, and I would say that everybody out there, this is such easy reading and fast. I would say that if you're interested, you should give this a try, because I had a blast with this book. So there you go. Strange Pictures by Uketsu. I think he has 1 or 2 more out, and I'm definitely getting the next one. Another one that I read was Something More Than Night, and I was supposed to if I mess this up, I'm going to be mad. But I was supposed to write down the names, but this is Something More Than Night by Kim Newman. Now, Jeff from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books, he was showing off some books that Kim Newman wrote. Like, he wrote a lot of articles about B movies, and they've been collected together and that. But he's also written some books, and this one is like an alternate history of Hollywood. No, it's not an alternate history. It contains alternate history. So it takes place in the early movies, the early cinema of Hollywood, around the time of or after Frankenstein. And the book is told by Raymond Chandler, and the famous mystery writer. And his voice is told as the writer of one of those books, so he sounds like a private investigator, like someone in his like in his books. And his friend is Boris Karloff, and there's all kinds of supernatural goings on, and a lot of them related to Frankenstein and other things. It's a fun book. I think that if you're intrigued by what I'm saying, then you'll enjoy it. But it's one of those kind of fun popcorn books where you're just along for the ride, and just weird things happen. But actually, along the way, you do get some kind of back history of Hollywood and movies. But you have to be careful because it's also alternate history. So some things are changed. For example, there's no real evidence. I think that Raymond Chandler and Boris Karloff were actually friends. I think they went to the same school together, but different years. Things like that. But overall, it's a fun read, and I recommend it for that kind of like you want a kind of fast, fun, popcorny book. Then this one is good. And not to say that he's not a good writer, because it kept me going from the beginning to the end. And the third book that I'm going to talk about is another one that Jeff was talking about on his channel. Now, unfortunately, I have this horrible cover. It's called My Family and Other Animals. And it's a very short book. It's nonfiction. And it's by Gerard Durrell. And wow, I really like this. Now, this is pretty much an autobiography of the writer when he was young and his family. They suddenly decide that they're going to move to Greece, and it's about their life while they're in Greece. And the writer, telling it from his point of view, is a budding naturalist, and he's observing nature around him, and and so most of the book is taken up with him observing nature and what's going on, but he's kind of also observing his family like a naturalist would. And there are some genuinely funny lines and funny aspects to this book. And I didn't realize it, but there was a movie made of this. And right before this, when I was researching, I found there was a movie, and it's got an amazing cast. So the mother is played by Imelda Staunton. I'm not sure how to say her name. And some of the kids are pretty famous too. I recognize them. Like one of the sons was in that British show where there's a wolf and a vampire and a ghost all living in the same apartment. And the oldest son is a pretty famous actor, and I just don't know his name. So anyways, it's a very short book, really well written, really fun. I really look forward to reading or listening to some of the other books by Gerald Durrell, and I'm really glad that I did listen to it. So this one is fun and highly recommended. But I'm sorry I got off track there a little bit. I was talking about the movie. I only watched the first 15 minutes of it. It follows the book, and it's actually, if I could probably be blasphemous, I think it's even funnier than the book. Even though it's following the book, it's just the image and the face of the actors and the music. It's just really well done. And I'm definitely going to finish the rest of this movie tonight, so because I'm enjoying it so much. Oh, what I want to say is that it's free on Tubi, so you could watch it on Tubi. So those are the books. So now I am going to talk about some TV shows that I watched. So I watched 3 different kinds of TV shows: Space 1999, Kolchak, and Sliders. And so I'm going to start with Space 1999. I watched 2 episodes. Season 2, episode 7, called Rules of Luton, and episode 8, The Mark of Acheron. So the Rules of Luton, that was a pretty funny episode. In that, first of all, I love these like the background images used in this show, like this. So here is the moon. Oh, that's just showing how dirty my iPad is. The shuttlecraft carrying the commander and Maya go down to a planet, and they pick like a fruit, and they eat it, or they pick a plant, and on that world that is outlawed. And so they immediately get thrown into a trial by combat from other creatures who landed there and did the same thing, and it's a fight to the death. So it's very much like the famous Star Trek episode where where Kirk is fighting the Gorn. So it was a lot of fun. Here are the what the enemies look like. So it's these 3, and sorry, that's a really blurry picture. Obviously in suits, all of them bodysuits, but it was a lot of fun. And then the next episode was they're digging beneath the base on the moon that has like flown out, because they're on Moon Base Alpha. It's basically the moon has shot out of Earth's orbit and it's traveling through space. And so they dig down and they find these 2 like bodies in kind of a like suspended animation, and they're really like Egyptian looking. It's the makeup in this is actually like pretty bad, but funny. And so like here they are. I felt bad for this young kid. He's running around this whole episode like almost naked, even on the top of his head. And of course they turn out to not be what they seem, and it has overtones of Khan a little bit. It was a fun episode. I mean, almost all of these episodes in some way relate to like a ripoff of Star Trek. I don't know which was first. I think this one is later. But they're still a lot of fun. And then the next show that I watched 3 episodes of Sliders. Now, this is a show that I started watching. I actually have it on DVD, the first couple of seasons. And I watched the first season, but I forgot where I stopped. So I'm starting it again. And the first, this is about a young man that creates a wormhole or a portal into other worlds. And you can like slide through different variations of Earth. But once they go, if they do something wrong, they can get stuck and they can't get back to their original Earth. So they're constantly hoping that they'll find their way back to their original Earth starting point. Now, in the first episode 1 and 2 is called The Pilot. And here's some pictures of it. So this is him in his basement creating the portal. And this is a picture of the cast. Sorry, that's not coming through, is it? Focus, please. No. Oh, there we go. And the 4 of them travel together. Now, in the first episode, they go in to an alternate Earth where there's like the communists have won and they've taken over all of civilization. Or if it's not communists, it's fascists, something like that. And then when they escape, they land up in an ice world. And then finally, at the end of the pilot, which is a double episode, they think they're back home. Everything seems normal, except there was one difference. his dad was alive, and where he's from, his dad isn't. And so they realize they're not where they're supposed to be, and they have to continue on their journey. In the third episode, it's called Fever. And they go to a planet, well, they go to an alternate Earth where the society is overrun by, an infection. And they have, everything is like, there's all these setups where they have to walk through to, check for germs. They're constantly doing everything to check for germs. But there's also an underground movement that's going against the government. And so you could see, here's a scene from that. It was, like I said, I've seen Sliders before, and I think it's a fun show. I never got too far, so I've heard the later seasons aren't as good, but I do like the parallel Earth kind of thing, and so I'm very interested to see where it goes. And oh no, I have one more episode of Kolchak. So I watched season 1, episode 11, and this one was called Horror in the Heights. Hold on, my dog is getting crazy. So this episode was a lot of fun because it has this creature that is kind of like It in Stephen King's novel, where he preys on people. He eats them. He's like a cannibal. But the people only see like a vision of someone that they love, and that's how they're suckered in. And so right now, my dog is trying to get out, so it's bothering me. So I'm going to have to end this. But I went through everything that I said I was. So I want to... Hopefully I'm going to get over this cough. Of course, any comments that you have are greatly appreciated. And I always want to thank you for the support.